So what makes me come alive? Obviously, it's sitting in my lap here. This beautiful young child. I've got one sleeping, and this one here is watching Curious George while I'm doing this interview. Say hi. But what makes me come alive is family and friends and life itself. So I'm just excited every day, blessed. I think that definitely getting married and having children changes your perspective as in terms of the work that we do as organizers and leaders in the movements that we lead and organize in. And I think that having your own children and having your own partner brings a lot of what we've done in the past a little bit closer to home. Not that we weren't passionate or committed to the issues of the struggles across the board, especially what idec is addressing. But it definitely makes a difference when you've got stuff, living and breathing beings that you're responsible for. And so I think that I am even more passionate, more concerned, and definitely more urgent. I feel like there's a sense of urgency that we're definitely facing in this country. Developing that connective tissue between the movements in this country is essential. There's multiple layers. There's so many incredible national movements, local movements, regional, based on so many different ideas and approaches to the work. I feel that a lot of times we're just sort of missing each other by a few degrees, and that we're not necessarily making the right connections, the strategic connections and partnerships between the different movements. I think what has been successful in the past has been connecting those movements of movements, or coalition of coalitions, and having a layer of leadership connecting across the sectors and silos that we're all in. I think that's crucial. It's, now more than ever, all the issues are so interwoven in this country, from environmental justice to racial justice to, you name the issues. They're so connected in this country, and I think that sometimes we forget to look to our left and right side and talk to our fellow comrades and other movements and begin to strategize and share resources, open up a little bit, be a little more transparent about our work, and make those connections real, and see how we can start aligning our work with other people and other groups, not just obviously nationally, but internationally, globally. I think people across the globe are looking for some cohesion and some intentional cohesion, intentional movement building across the country to move the United States in a different direction. When you speak to people in Africa, Latin America, Europe, a lot of the people are asking us what's going on. Where are you guys? We're lagging behind in certain areas. We need you to step up and take lead and get this country turned around for the sake of the world. So I hear that a lot when I do my international work. What I want to change is making sure there's more connection between groups, breaking down the barriers, or the perceived barriers, strategizing more, building stronger think tanks. I think a lot of good work is happening on the ground at the grassroots level, and I think that a lot of that work gets lost in translation when we look at national work. So making connections between grassroots. I know you want to go. Making connections between the grassroots and the national and the regional is a really big issue. And a lot of times when we're working at the national level, national groups, it's very hard to connect at the grassroots level and sort of elevate that work, uplift that work that's happening on the ground. Gun violence is an example of that. There's a lot of good national work, and there's a lot of good grassroots work in our cities and our rural towns. And sometimes that work isn't getting filtered into the national discussion effectively. And so you have these perceptions of certain communities and certain places based on media and national hype, and not based on the real experience and the people on the ground who are fighting struggles day to day. So I think definitely small changes. I don't think, I think there's a lot in place. I don't think we have to rewrite the whole strategy. I just think we as as key bridge builders and connectors, have to do a better job conducting it and connecting it, and forcing others, our colleagues, to open their eyes and say, look, you've got to connect with this organization or this coalition. Let's build a stronger fabric of movement building across the country. That's taking care of these kids. So it's I will say to my sisters, my comrade sisters in struggle, and other parents and other mothers and fathers, if I was ever in a position of influence, I'd make every man in the society do a 9-month boot camp in taking care of children. I think it would change their perspective a lot. Maybe we'd be better off in society. So power to the sisters and brothers out there. And I look forward to hanging out and chilling in Denver, Colorado, and in spirit and unity.